to the Modern Skein podcast. My name is Sharon Graff, and I am the owner of the Modern Skein, and apparently have a frog residing in my throat at the moment. Excuse me.
While she gets rid of the frog and kindly evicts it from her throat. My name is Becky, and apparently we're setting the tone for an interesting podcasting morning. Store manager at the Modern Skein.
Yes. Hi. Yeah, this is the second take because we did not realize we were recording, and we were just blathering on, blah-de-da-de-da, and then Becky looks up and she's like, we're recording.
Yep.
Like, oh. Oops. So welcome. Hold on.
Yeah. A little extra sip of caffeine is in order.
Caffeine, moisture from my throat, apparently. Welcome to the podcast. I would say we're not normally this funny, but we kind of, there's always shenanigans of some sort. So, I don't even know where to go from this. I believe this is episode 86. Thank you for subscribing if you're a subscribing viewer, and if you're not, hopefully you'll stick around and enjoy and give us a thumbs up and a subscribe. And if you are subscribed but you're not getting notifications, be sure and click the little bell. I know some people, oh, that's right. We hit 1,000 subscribers, you guys. Thank you.
We did.
That was super exciting.
It was a real fun email to open up because
Yes.
I opened it and I was like, Sharon, come here. And the face she had coming around the corner was like, oh God, what's wrong?
Yes. It was one of those days where a lot of things were going wrong. And so I was like, what now? And it was good news, which was very, very happy. But I do know that a few of you guys that were, for whatever reason, subscribed or getting notifications somehow, like, got unsubscribed or stopped getting notifications. It's a little weird. So if you are seeing this, make sure and double check that you're still getting notifications and that you're still subscribed. On that note, I would say this is when we normally share our finished objects. However, between the two of us, we don't have any.
Sorry.
But our other employee, Jan, has come in clutch and finished two finished objects. So we're going to share those. Now, you might say two. Yes, it's two sweaters. They are children's size sweaters, but they're still adorable and cute.
Mm-hmm. They're so good.
So this first one, let me pull up the name here. This one is called Issac by Marie Wallin. Is this just not the cutest little thing ever?
It's so good.
So this is done out of Croft DK. This is Jewel of the King for the main body, and then Van and Antique Linen for the yoke. Like I said, it is by Marie Wallin. And this is the, okay, so a couple things she did differently to the pattern. It comes in basically, I think, like, I want to say either 0 to 3 or 3 to 6 months, all the way through, like, 5-6 years old, I believe. And technically, this is, I believe, the boy version of Issac, but you get also, when you buy the Issac pattern, you get the girl version.
Which I think it might be like Layla.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And I tried to figure out what the difference was between the two, and I couldn't, but you get both. I think maybe just one of the little designs in here is a little different, maybe. Anywho, so the pattern states, it is a DK written pattern, but the pattern says to use for the body like a 2 or a US 2.5, which is quite tiny and would give just, I mean, this thing would stand up on its own. So Jan used a 4 for the body and a 3 for all of the ribbing. And pretty much other than that, she knit, so because she was using a larger needle size, she knit technically the 2-year-old size, but has the dimensions of the 3-4-year-old size. So hopefully that's not too confusing. But again, this is Issac by Marie Wallin, and it's all done out of Red Stag Croft DK. So that's
that bottom like panel of color work in the It's Isle of Harris. This little one just
Van.
Well, like just like this colorwork motif just makes me want to do a hide and peak sweater even more, because that's pretty much I think what it looks like.
Yes,
I couldn't help but notice that and think of the other sweater.
Yes, so I digressing down a rabbit hole. So this past weekend, I actually took most of my Sunday and Monday to veg and knit and watch podcasts that I had not watched and caught up on, which that meant I watched basically like I think I ended up just rewatching all of them because they only have like 5. All of Max the Knitter's podcasts, which I Les Garçons, their podcast. And now I want to knit all the things, including a hide and peak sweater, a once in floral, and the Opus shawl.
The once in floral has been in my queue for so long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. And then that Opus shawl. So simple looking, but so graphic and stunning.
Yeah.
And again, hide and peak. It's so cool. And like the versions that are done in Sari. And then I went down a rabbit hole of looking on Farmer's Daughter because, you know, he used, Recollect, I think. Then I went on her website and then on her Instagram, and she shared that photo of how to style her Daydreamer.
I saw that and I was like, oh.
And now I want to knit the Daydreamer. I already have that pattern. I own that pattern. So yeah. So what did I do? I may have cast on a few things. We'll get to that. But one's not a cast on.
Okay. It's not a cast on.
No. Kind of, but not. Okay, moving on to our second favorite. Well, it's really cute. Second finished object, again, knit by Jan. So this is the, hold on, I gotta look at my cheat sheet. Viikari, Viikari. And this is by Anniina Juuti. This currently, so Jan actually was the tester. The pattern has been out for a while, but she was the tester for the English translation. So the English translation is supposed to be coming out very, very soon, like in the next week or so. It's currently only in Finnish. But this is an adorable yoked sweater. And this, she did one of the contrast colors in the baby Sari. So the body is cobblestone. And then the color work, the orange is Scottish Sunset. And then St. Andrews, Surrey, held double, I believe. Yes, held double for the yoke. And that color combination is just so good, you guys. It's so cute.
This was honestly one of those, like, partially a moment of, we had a couple skeins that we wound that we weren't supposed to wind. Or one of them was that case.
Yeah.
My bad.
That was my mistake. For sure, because I couldn't read a pattern apparently that day.
So we had these 2 skeins sitting, and Jan was going to do a sample. And we were like, well, what if we use these 2? They need a home, and they're already caked up. So
and they look so good together.
Yeah, I was not expecting to love this color combination as much as I do.
So this is cute. It's got a little rolled hem up here. Again, this is like I want to say about the 2-year-old size. I don't think she modified anything on this pattern. She did like the tubular bind off, like it said. Yeah, I don't think she made any other modifications this one. I think she even used the recommended needle sizes and everything. So like I said, this is Viikari, and it's coming to Ravelry in English very soon. It is already there in Finnish. Should you happen to watch our podcast and speak, read Finnish, you can go ahead and get started. I want to say one of these, and I think it's this one, either the person is writing a adult version or has an adult version already. I could be completely wrong, but I feel like somebody was saying that. Totally, I have no idea. So, as Josh likes to say, I'm speaking out of my butt. Anywho, don't mind that. Okay, so that is all for finished objects. But like I said, I spent the weekend power knitting, and it was awesome. I did not do laundry. I did not I did cook and I went to the grocery store, but I like those two things. The rest of the time was knitting, and it was glorious. So first off, I did, because I was like, okay, I need to make progress on this. This is the test knit.
Oh, yeah.
I powered through.
Some good stockinette done.
I did. And I basically went through the end of that ball, and I just need to attach another ball. So this is test knit for Corrado Lark. And this is the front. And this is a sweater called Devop, and it is knit out of red Stag FIbre Croft DK and melted baby Sari, Edinburgh Castle, gloss, and antique linen. I think the pattern is supposed to come out at the end of this month or 1st of October, somewhere around in there. So I still have a little time. I'm kind of actually where I didn't start this, because I'm out of yarn here. I was debating, do I finish knitting the body or do I go ahead and cast on one of the sleeves and knock out one sleeve? I'm kind of leaning towards that.
I feel like I always like mixing it up, especially once you've done just so much of the big stockinette. Getting over to like a sleeve where it goes so much faster.
Definitely.
Makes me, it's that instant gratification knitting.
Yes.
Which a lot of times in a sweater is few and far between.
Yes. So what do you have?
Well, I've got two different things to share. I'm going to go with this one first. Because once again, I bring you a project that I am about to rip back on again. So this is a sock. It's actually an unnamed sock. The pattern is in testing, but she has not come up with a finalized name yet. And I can tell you that my cuff and this nice little green lace section will be staying. But the rest of it, I've been struggling with getting gauge and getting it to where the color work that'll be on the leg is loose enough to go over a heel. So there was, I think last Thursday, I had this all the way past the heel and ripped it all out because it just, I'm knitting it and as a test, but also then gifting it to a friend who does not watch this. Yeah, so
it wouldn't fit on my foot.
Yeah, they have the same size shoe as Sharon, so Sharon kindly tested it and it did not work.
No.
So I ripped it out, started again, went up a needle size for color work, and that's not working for me because now my gauge is way loose and you can see my floats through the front side of it. But I do really, really like the cute little lace that's in here. This is like one of the rare times I'm using project bags, so my yarn's all caught up in there. But it's just got a nice little lace panel in there.
It's super cute lace.
And then just a little band of 1x1 ribbing. And then this is this is some leftover scraps from a sweater that I did. So this is gloss cottage sock. This is Daucus. I believe the colorway was first Morel. And then the gilded is Chateau sock. So it's just a little red stag sock, which is what it was designed in. I think she did hers in Chateau. But we'll see if I can't get back on track today. It is my first adventure with the 9-inch circular needles, and I think I like them. We'll see how much I like them by the time I'm done with this project, considering how many times I've ripped out.
True.
So.
Well, Becky's being good and using project bags. I basically got laughed at by our sit and knit group because I bring in this whole week all my projects.
But I love this.
In a giant hefty tote.
Yep.
But I have a lot of things I want to work on. Or at least I want to think I want to work on. Not that I actually get a ton of time at the shop to knit on them. But you never know. And what if you have a spare moment and you can do something where you can concentrate? Or you need a mindless project?
Yep.
Or somebody wants to see one of the projects, because that's always the case.
Yeah.
So you have to bring them all. And that giant bag isn't enough either. So, yeah. Anywho. So, I don't think I had this last podcast. I don't think I had this started. I may have. I don't remember when I started it. No, because we podcasted not last week, but the week before. So I definitely did not have this started because this is only a week old. So I had a decent amount of progress on it. So this is my fiery foliage.
My goodness. And you started color 3.
I did start color 3.
I haven't seen it since color 3 got... It was back in, like, here.
Yep. Nope. So this is Fiery Foliage by Stephen Wast, and my first color is Poppy by Hedgehog. Then we fade into Fool's Gold by Hedgehog, and then I just finished fading, and I'm on the solid section now of my third color, which is Painting Seeds by Chlorindrod. That's this one.
Planting seeds.
What'd I say?
Painting.
Oh, yeah, planting.
Sorry.
And then it will fade into Nest. And this is by Ching Fibers. And then it will fade into Sky on Fire. So
good.
This.
Yeah.
Ta-da! I'm loving this one. The pattern is super easy and memorizable. For me, it's very much a mindless knit. Yeah, it just goes super quick too. Clearly, because I've knit a lot. So yeah.
I don't know if I just hadn't seen it or since you're holding it up this way. Like the back of it's really interesting too.
Mm-hmm. The back looks really cool too.
So you kind of it almost looks like I-cords.
Yes.
Even though it's just like it's just where you're purling on the opposite side.
Yeah. It's your stockinette on the wrong side, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is that project. So I cast that on since the last podcast. And let's see what else. Then, okay, let me share about my not a cast on. So how did this even start? Oh yes, I brought in a different bag of knitting stuff that I wanted to go through because I didn't remember what was in it. And I had a couple half-started projects that I just ended up ripping out. But one of them was my Baltian. And my Baltian, this is a Caitlin Hunter pattern. Really pretty, dolman sleeve, color work. So I had started this right after it came out in Chateau Sock and Riyadh by Red Stag FIbre. The Chateau Sock was Her Majesty's Navy and the Riyadh was Antique Linen. And I was having issues with the color work and I didn't like how my floats were looking and I didn't like my gauge and all this kind of stuff. So I'd ripped it out, restarted it, ripped it out again, and cast it on, but I never went past the cast on that second time or third time. So I found this and I was like, oh, I think I want to knit this again, but I want to change out my main color. So my thought was, well, I'm ripping it out to restart it in a new color, but it's not really a brand new cast on because I've already cast it on 3 other times. So that's why I'm calling it my not a cast on. Yep. But I think it's working this time because I'm almost done.
My gosh.
With
I fully support the color switch because I think I love this even more than the original.
It's all jumbled up on the needles, but this is Bordeaux by Red Stag in the Chateau, and then the Antique Linen on the Riyadh, which just gives it that like golden spun look. Yeah. It's so pretty. And I've only got 6 rows of the chart left.
That chart is tiny, friends. And you can't show it, but that chart is tiny.
What? Yes. So definitely, if you get this pattern, And, yeah, see if you can print it landscape. That would help
Yeah.
a lot. And then maybe magnify it because it's small. But it's a very simple, simple knit.
It looks like one that once you get going, you could really
Because
figure it out. It seems really intuitive.
I mean, these 2 rows, you're basically repeating
Yeah.
every other one for so many times. So, but it's going to be like almost like a feather kind of design down the front. It's really cool. And then you've got these dolman type sleeves. So I will show my floats. So I have done a catch every 3 to 4 stitches, and that's really helped with my tension on this one. Although it's slowed me down because I have not been able to, no matter how many YouTube videos I've tried, because I normally do color work two-handed. I cannot figure out how to catch my floats two-handed. It doesn't work with this hand. So I've been having to do it basically where I'm like twisting on with both in this hand. Minor issues, but it's also a little bit frustrating because I'm like, I could have already been done with this chart, but I'm loving it. And it's so soft because this is Chateau, you guys, and Chateau has cashmere in it, and then the Riyadh is silk and camel, and so it's just like buttery soft. So good. Yes, I'm like, so that's 2 cast-ons, but wait, there's more.
Okay.
You're like, what?
To see, like, what else are we pulling out of the bin?
So this is Nuupuulain by Sari Nordlund. I don't know the baubles. There you go. The bauble. There you go. So this is a yak shawl, and I'm using the Dacus sock. There you can really see the baubles, kind of 3-dimensional. So this is Her Majesty's Navy on Dacus sock, and it doesn't show up as well here, but in real life you can really see all the design, the lace, and the texture. It's not too dark for it. Like I said, Nuupuulain by Sari Nordlund. It was originally designed out of a yak yarn, and I'm using the Dacus sock in Her Majesty's Navy, and it is charted and completely written out. So if you are not comfortable with charts, it's completely written out. Also, the bubbles are very small, so they're not a hard bobble at all. So if it's your first time doing bobbles, don't let that intimidate you. Honestly, if you really hated bobbles, you could just not do the bobble. You could just do a stitch, just a regular stockinette stitch right there.
I feel like nearly every time there's bobbles, that's an option.
Yeah, pretty much. And it would look pretty without the bobbles too. I think it looks best with the bobbles.
Yeah.
But it would also just be a real pretty lace motif if you didn't do the bobbles. So like I said, it is written and charted. I am using the charts. I find it much easier to knit off of charts. But there's no brioche or anything like that. It's basically twisted stitches, a little bit of lace work. You are doing lace on the wrong side, so if you're used to lace where you just purl on the wrong side, you do have to pay attention to that wrong side row because you are having to do some lace things. So just be aware of that. But it's not a difficult pattern at all. I mean, I'm already through 3 of the charts. So, yeah, there's that one. Why don't you share something before I go back diving into the bin?
All right. This was my impulse cast on of last week, and I regret nothing.
I'm about to say you regret what?
I regret nothing.
Okay, good.
No, I love this, and I am so excited to finally be using some of this yarn because I bought it when we had the Brooklyn Tweed trunk show, like right when I first started in the shop.
That was November of last year.
Yeah, and it's been sitting in stash, waiting. And who knew it just needed to become this.
Yes, it definitely needed to become this.
So I cast on the Sheep Camp sweater.
So good.
By Jennifer Berg, or Native Knitter. Was inspired by Christina that came into the shop and was working on one. And it needed to happen, so here it is. It's happening.
Peer pressure.
Again, just a nice rolled neckline, so super simple. I'm using DK weight, which is what it calls for, so it goes so nice and quickly. And I'm very excited for it to be out of dapple also, because it's going to be, it feels nice and light. I'm hoping I'll be able to wear it as soon as I finish, if I finish quickly. But
I mean, we've had some, is it fall-ish?
I think that's been encouraging me to knit on this.
Yes, because it's like...
Because this seems like it would be a sweater I could wear in this fall season.
I'm scared to say we're experiencing fall, but I feel like fall is whispering it's in our general direction. I feel like that's an accurate statement. It's like,
yeah.
Whew, whisper fall. Whew.
Yep.
That's a meteorology term, I'm sure of it, you know.
Yeah.
So yes, that's gorgeous. And that's another thing that I'm like, and then, you know, I watch all these podcasts. I watched Dinah and Pam of the Knitting Place, and she finished her Finne sweater, and now I want to knit that. And then I had a customer call yesterday. It's like, I'm thinking about doing the Finne sweater in a couple weeks. I'm like, yes, I agree. And then I see Kathy from the Knot House. She's working on one. It's gorgeous. Peer pressure. But I need to finish a few things too. But I am making progress. So this is my, and it looks massive, but it's going to be that big, oversized, snuggly wuggly thing. This is my Marseille. My what? Marseille sweater by Petite Knit. So I have finished. I went ahead and added another, it's supposed to be 4 for my size stripe. So I went ahead and added a 5th because I want mine to be a little bit longer, kind of to go over leggings. And so I finished this ball. I need to just reattach, finish out my rows, and then start my hem. And then I get to pick up and knit the cozy sleeves and finish off the neckline. So this is kind of in the home stretch, if you will. This is knit out of Arbor. And Degas is the stripes, and burnished is the main color. So I did get some work on that done. And then what I did not get any work done on, but it's still in here gorgeous and I need to work on it, is my Suriously Holey wrap by Stephen West. This is Pheasant and a Flame in Ching Melted Baby Suri. We got our Ching order in, however, we were unable to get any more Melted Baby Suri because they are not able to get it from the mill right now. So what we have in stock is what we have, but you can also use Josh's Red Stag Fiber Castle Suri and either hold it single for a slightly lighter weight version or hold it double for more of this thickness, which would be really, really fun. Lots of different colors. And then I also found this sweater that I had done last year. I had started and I've joined in the round, but I had not knit on it anymore. This is Seve by Isabel Kramer. Kind of just a straight across little simple. I'm using wool stock worsted. Nice little detail on the back. I need to find the pattern and figure out exactly what row I'm on. But this would be a cute, cozy one for fall, you know? I need to finish it.
I like all the little cats that are on there as markers.
Well, yes, I have my little Katrinkle's cat heads.
So good.
Which, did I leave that in here? Yes. This was Duncan's contribution to my knitting box. He likes mohair. He likes rustic wools, mohair, anything that smells animal. Yes, I will salvage this. I will throw it in the freezer first and then salvage that. And I have not cast this on yet, but it will be happening. So in the new Laine issue 12, there is a pattern. I just have to find it. I know it's in here. Viberna. Look at that, you guys. Ah. So
it's a good texture.
Super texture, super like casual, yummy. This is by Fabian Gossman, and it's fingering weight with some positive ease. And what's really cool is it's knit side to side. So I love unique construction. And I am planning on using Sunday in the colorway Burnt Sugar. So fun. So we should be getting some shipments from Sandisgarn very soon. We should also be getting some shipments from the Shetland Islands quite soon. I was told they would be shipping yesterday. So haven't gotten the tracking notifications yet, but stay tuned for that. And then we have 2 very large boxes behind Becky. I don't know if you can kind of see them back there, of a trunk show that we're about to set up from Big Sky Yarns in Montana. So stay tuned for that. In fact, if you're watching, you probably have already, it should be on the website. So you can click on Trunk Show and see what we have. We also just got in yesterday our tote bags.
They're back.
They are back. Had to wait for them to be in stock from our supplier, but our Modern Skein tote bags are back, and I would say better than ever, but they're the same because it's the same bag, same handle, all that fun stuff. So the bags are available for purchase on our website. I think they're $9. Either $8 or $9, one of those two. So they're here. They hold a bunch of stuff. They're nice plastic. They're not like the sticky plastic. They're very malleable, and we've had several of our ladies. I don't have one to show you, but
this was a brilliant adaptation.
It's brilliant. So when you open it up all the way, it's basically a rectangle on the bottom. So because it's gusseted. So what they did was they measured it, measured the width, measured the length, and cut a piece of foam core board and just plopped it on the inside. And then it basically helps it stand up rigid, and you have a firm bottom, and they now use it as their weekly, nightly knitting tote. It's like, that's a brilliant idea. So if you have a piece of foam board lying around or a piece of cardboard, sturdy cardboard
would work great too.
That's perfect. So just measure out your bottom, cut it up, put it in there. If you want to get really fancy, you could wrap it in fabric, I mean, you could do a bunch of different things. Make it into another craft project. But we have those available. We should be restocking our coffee mugs very soon. And speaking of coffee mugs, since this should go up on Friday, unless we have a banner blowout, we should still have our free Red Stag mugs with purchase. So I don't have one here to show you, but if you purchase any 2 or more skeins of Red Stag fiber yarn through Sunday, you will get a free Red Stag coffee mug. It's a great little coffee mug, about yay big. I think it's technically a 12 or 14 ounce. Actually, it's 14 ounce because it's a little bigger than the ones we have. So it's a 14 ounce coffee mug. And super cute, white with maroon Red Stag logo on it. So definitely get that free with your purchase. Like I said, any 2 skeins of Red Stag fiber yarn, whether that's Jacobite Rebellion, whether it's any of our other skeins, sorters quantity, whatever, you're going to get a mug. So definitely take advantage of that. And we have put up our fall calendar of events on the website as well, so look for that. We have some classes coming up. You can RSVP for those. We have, of course, our trunk show. This month is Big Sky Yarn Company out of Montana. We have trunk shows for next month as well, and then some other amazing fun things coming in to the store just in time for fall. So stay tuned to social media and our website, and come in if you're local to Sit and Stitch, because we always talk about all the fun things that are coming in the shop.
It's true.
And it won't be up by the time this podcast goes, but Tuesday is our day that we're finally getting our needle order in, so we will be restocking all of our needles. So I know we've been out of stock on several of the needle sizes for a little while. They are being nothing is back ordered anymore, so we should be getting it all in and good to go.
Woohoo.
Yes. So I think that about wraps it up. I don't have anything else. And I technically have one other thing in here. Technically. Okay.
Sad face. Holds up yarn.
This is the Clea by Circulo Yarns. And what I had done was cast on earlier, and this is super cute. The Saint Laurent wrap by Espace Tricot, which is done in a lace weight like cotton or silk, and it's super, super fun. Just look at that, like lacy and everything. And I, motored on, and then I think it was maybe on one of our earlier podcasts, or I had a customer in the store. I dropped a whole bunch of stitches, and I just haven't ripped it back and picked it back up. I need to do that. I've also thought about, I've thought about ripping it out, because I have technically knit the Saint Laurent before, and doing the, but see, I did that one already too, because I have another one, that Etoile something or other, Etoile Maritime, but I've already knit that. I knit that out of comb. I don't know. That may turn into something else. You never know. I don't think it's supposed to be a Saint Laurent wrap. That's just what I'm saying. So tune in next week to see if I've made, or not next week.
What it becomes.
2 weeks. Yes, find out what it becomes.
Excuse me.
I think the frog jumped into your throat.
Yeah, definitely did. Thanks for that.
You're welcome. And see, hopefully we've made some progress in 2 weeks, and we have some finished objects to show you.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully those socks.
Yeah, the socks have to be done within the next 2 weeks, so they will be done.
Hopefully they fit someone, though.
Yeah. That is preferable. That is absolutely preferable.
Yes, but I think we're going to sign off.
Yep.
We're probably going to go caffeinate some more.
Most likely.
And we'll see you in the shop or online. And have a great time, and happy knitting, crocheting, spinning, weaving, crafting, whatever you end up doing. And have a great time. Bye.